Welcome to the Education Exchange. I'm your host, Jeremy Calles, Superintendent here at the Tolleson Union High School District. And today we're celebrating the upcoming Lunar New Year. We have some very special guests with us here today. So I'm going to start with our board president, Ms. Leezah Sun, if you can introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, my name is Leezah Sun, and I'm your president board for the Tolleson Union High School District.
Hi everyone, my name is Ting Ting Cai Ting Ting in Chinese, so I'm a Mandarin teacher in West Pont High School.
Hi everyone, my name is Wei, last name is Ji, and I am the second Mandarin teacher here at West Point High School.
All right, so first let's talk about the Lunar New Year. I had to recently be corrected. I'll be honest, I've always referred to it as Chinese New Year growing up, and I was given the explanation on why it's Lunar New Year and how more encompassing it is. But maybe for the benefit of the audience, maybe if you could share like what is the Lunar New Year, when does it happen, who all recognizes the Lunar New Year, especially for our audience who maybe just rang in Happy New Year a few weeks ago, and then now there's another New Year. So, Ting Ting, if you'd like to share.
Oh yes, Lunar New Year, we try to include other culture in here too, because, we don't always just say Chinese New Year. We want to say Lunar New Year because in other Asian countries, they also celebrate New Year as well. For example, Vietnam, and they would definitely celebrate New Year. So we want to say Lunar New Year, try to be inclusive for everyone. So we say that. And then, I think a Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year for me is the biggest holiday in Chinese culture. So that's why we wanted to make sure, our students in our school, in our, district, try to learn more about the culture, learn about the language. So yeah.
All right. So now I know each year has its own symbol. I believe I was born in Year of the Dragon, the Fire Dragon, if I've been told correctly. What year are we going into now? So what is this new year going to be?
So 2025 is going to be the year of the snake. So 2024 was the year of the dragons. So we can guess your age. based on what animal you are for your zodiac sign.
So it's not tough to guess there, right?
Yeah, let's do it right.
So pretty easy math. All right.
Yeah, because, for the Lunar New Year, is every 12 years is one full cycle. It's one full cycle. So, every 12 years, okay, if you are a dragon, and 2024, was the year of the dragon. So then we can do the math from there. Like, maybe add a 12 or, something like that just to calculate that. So.
All right. So I give away my age by telling what I am. Got it.
I think you're 25, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's go with that. All right. So now we have the Mandarin program. I don't know if everybody across the district has knowledge that we have a Mandarin program here at West Point. Can both of you share some background on that? Like, what exactly is our Mandarin program? How does it work for a student who wants to enter the Mandarin program?
Great. This is actually my 4th year in West Point for the program. So yeah, we actually have the program for a long while. Okay, I would say I was hired, probably 4 years ago. And then the first year when we hired, and then COVID happened. So we had to turn everything from class into online class, after that. So, but I would say everything goes very well. Students very interested for what we're doing. So the second year, we hire another teacher. So yeah, that's how we have two teachers now. And then I think most of our students, we don't have much of the language background. So yeah, so that's why we start from the very beginning, the pronunciation, the pinyin, and then we also learn about, how to make simple sentences or, stuff like that to introduce themselves. Just start from the very beginning. But yes, we would like to, how do I say, help more people to know we have this program, and help more students and the family and the community to know more about this and learn, because I believe Mandarin is the language of the future.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely, add on to that.
I just want to say, from my background, because this is my first year at West Point High School, I did some research on districts. I would say Tolleson is the only district in the whole West Phoenix area that actually offers more than 3 foreign languages, district-wise. that is a lot of opportunities provided to students. There are choices. Of course, Spanish, it will be the most popular foreign language here. However, we have students who have interest in Asian culture and other like French culture, and they don't have the same opportunities in other districts. Like even for me as like a teacher, I am looking for a district to work at. This is where I see the most growth could happen. We have a department that leads world culture curriculum. And in college like NAU, ASU, GCU, when you go up, you need a second language. So students here can actually take advantage of that. Their courses here right now counts as dual enrollment credit, which is college credit. So I think it is amazing that we offer so many things here, but it is necessary for people to know the opportunities are out there. So many people, so many families don't even know it's there.
Oh, absolutely. We got to get the word out. Hopefully this podcast is going to help to get the word out. I know our president will help to get the word out.
I mean, I don't want to be, sounding biased, but I do believe a foreign language, particularly the Chinese language, is the language, of success, prosperity, and happiness. We know that culturally, those are the three areas of life that we want to balance and achieve and to obtain. Languages in general, not just the Chinese language, for me, is really about that self-expression. Able to express beyond your own, anecdotal experiences. It gives you a facet of ability to see the world from a different lens. And that can translate to future success, either be through, education, their vocation, their personal life, and of course, their mental health. It really ties in. Now, for me, growing up being, Chinese, it was given that I had this opportunity as a second language. I didn't see how that benefited me until I reached adulthood. And we are at a cusp for our students as they jump into adulthood and go into the real world to prepare them with these, I consider them basic necessities, is a monumental, movement for them to maximize their potential. When we go to other parts of the valley, as you alluded to, there seems to be an imbalance in equity with extracurriculum and particular language opportunities. And sometimes I always feel, sad, to come back to the West Side, seeing our community not having the same opportunity, and to look at our school districts not having that vision. I just think that this is such a ripe time in our district to really, not just staying afloat, but to really, shoot out the water, and just catapult ourselves, for a level of achievement for our students to reach. Because at the end of the day, if we don't give them, the tools, now how in the world are we expect them to succeed, right? So, it's a win-win situation when we can all work together. But I truly believe that the students always had the vision. They do. Now they need to share it with us, and it's up to us to now receive and to somehow implement that. So, whatever you guys want, I'll just point the finger to him. He'll get the work done, and then I'll just be like, how's the timeline going,
Absolutely.
But it's something I know that as a board and with our superintendent and the district staffs and leadership, we are completely on board to expand the language department, particularly the Chinese language, moving forward, because you guys have the foundation for it, and then hopefully it will catapult to another language. But obviously, increasing that enrollment will be a shared achievement and goal.
And I agree with you guys. It is the language of the future, that being forward thinking. So my daughter, 5 years old, is in a Mandarin program, and there's no way to describe just how proud you are, but also how cute it is to watch a 5-year-old count to 100 in Chinese. She'll be like, Arsher Joe. And then she goes to the next one, like she accents that Joe every time before she goes on to the next group of 10. And it's amazing though. So I'm all for it. I think it's definitely a language is hopefully beginning to catch on with other districts, because I know if at the elementary level we get more districts implementing this program, it's going to be easier for you guys to then take all those students to a higher level. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about some future planning for the Mandarin program. So where do you envision this growing to as we increase popularity? Like, what's next? Advanced placement? Like, what else are you guys looking at in terms of how you want to grow this program?
So far in our program, we have around like 150 students, between both of us. We hope, with our effort and with all the support, from everyone here, we can at least recruit like at least 50 to 100 more. I think that would be great for next year. And then we already have our AP Chinese approved for next year. So,
Right.
So we are very excited for that for sure. And then as Wei mentioned earlier, both our class Mandarin 1 and 2, 3 and 4, even 5 and 6, they're all like a dual enrollment. So we highly encourage our students, to take those classes. So not only to graduate from high school, but also to earn some college credits to better prepare them ready. Because I think I actually remember some of my students, they actually graduate from high school, but with an associate degree from the community university. So that's from like taking all the summer school they're doing, and then taking all the AP classes and also the dual enrollment courses that they've been doing in high school. So that saves them 2 years and a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely. That's great. Now, I know you're teaching them more than just the language. You're teaching them some about culture, and you have some show and tell items here today. Let's start first with this calendar. So, what is on the agenda for next week as we move into the Lunar New Year?
I think when we're planning, we're thinking about what can we do, to benefit all the staff member and all students to learn more about the Lunar New Year. Not just for students who are in our classroom. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and we would love to hear more like open ideas. Okay, so far we plan on Monday we're gonna make some lanterns. So this is, I would say, probably our traditions every year. So every year, Miss Haskins, she knows like we will hang those beautiful lanterns our student made and put outside in the trees. So that's how they know, like, oh, whenever we see the red lanterns, we know Lunar New Year is coming. So that's how we start. So we're gonna make it a red lantern on the first day, which is Monday, okay, January 27th. So Tuesday, we are thinking about, now we have lanterns, okay? We want to have some good wishes, bring it for the new year. So we have some like ribbons, we have gold and and then red. Those two colors are Chinese people's favorite color.
Oh,
And you see they're everywhere in the culture, and then so we can make those ribbons and have students and staff members to write down their New Year wishes and then put it in a bridge. Like you walk in from 2024, bridge it to the New Year to 2025 with good wishes.
so you're gonna tie all these ribbons together into one big bridge?
Bridge as in our stairs for building.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like, we're on a bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the
I'm gonna have to
idea
come
is
back
into-
and check it out next week.
Yeah.
So the stair will be in front of 300 buildings. So when you need
Okay.
classes upstairs, we're coming up and down. You gotta go through the bridges,
All right.
So Wednesday is January 29th is actually the New Year. So for the New Year, we're gonna do the red envelopes, okay, for all students and the staff members. So you probably can see a couple right here, and thanks to our admin, especially Ms. Haskins, so we get approved to do some fun activities with our staff member on Wednesday next week, and you guys should come back.
So what's the background on the red envelopes? Like, what's the symbolism of the red? Are they supposed to put something inside the envelope? Or
Yes. Very good question. I love it. Okay, I bet kids will ask that too. Red envelope, okay, usually we will put money in there. So on the you guys okay, there will be something like this. Nice. So this is not real money.
Oh, I was about to say.
Right. So usually, our parents will, parents or anyone older than you, they will put money in there. And then usually on New Year's Day or even the second day of the New Year, we will go visit our families, like, your grandparents, your uncle, aunts, something like that. And you tell them good wishing words. You want to bring, good wish to their family and their household. You bring some New Year's gift, you go visit them. And you will say 新年快乐, 新年好, which means Happy New Year in Chinese. And then they will give you red envelope for, with money inside for good wish and a prosperity year for you as well.
Oh, wow. All right, so I'm going to have to send my daughter with an envelope then. And so the day to do that is going to be Wednesday? All right, so I'll send my daughter. I'm going to send my daughter with a red envelope on Wednesday and throw some money in there for her then.
She'll be so happy.
Yeah.
Keep this for her.
This one? Yes, absolutely. Oh, she's the only one who's doing the Mandarin program right now, so I'll just take care of her. But yeah, I know. So like, one of the traditions we have on New Year's is, and I know everybody has their different traditions. At least like one of ours is, you go outside with your suitcases, empty and stuff, and then like it's supposed to mean you're going to travel a lot in the new year. But this about the red envelopes, like I'd never heard about this before, about putting the money in there and it brings you prosperity for the new year. So that's very interesting.
No, these red envelopes does bring, back memories for me, which both of you ladies could, relate. But my very first early memories of the red envelope was when I was back in South Korea with my grandparents, and it was common to have like 3-4 generations living under, one roof. So when Chinese New Year came around, it was the day we clean out the whole house, the house, outside, inside. I mean, I remember our dog, who was our guard, Pets weren't like pets here in the U.S. They were literally a security system.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the dog was getting a wash, and then I was told, because I was so little, to go to the market to get some of the items. And when we came back, my parents had our new clothes set on our,
bed.
Yeah, and we were to wear that on
the New Year's Day.
Yeah, and so when Lunar New Year came around, the whole town, the whole family, we were just on, a red alert to get everything done. And, And because it was like a chore day, we were told that whoever did more chores would get a little extra.
A bigger extra in the envelope?
Yeah. So I'm here.
Well, maybe I'll try that with my daughter, see if I get a little extra chores after.
But I was only like maybe 3 or almost 4 years old. And I'm here thinking like, more money. Okay, I'm gonna work, And then when we got the red envelope, I was highly disappointed. And my uncles, found out and told my grandparents. So when it came time to kowtow to our grandparents, we had to do our ceremonial bow to show respect to our grandparents. And when I ran down, they brought me the envelope and whispered to me and said like, "There's something extra for you," So that was the memory that I had. But I remember being traumatized because I didn't get the compensation right off the bat. I was just so upset. And, we have family members, that covered everybody. But that was the very first time receiving a red envelope. And I still do it today for my son. He doesn't take it seriously, Yeah, he's 18 years old, and but I like to do it just because I write something on the envelope, something with a personal.
Yeah.
And then you can put in a note, with the
a note in with the money.
Yeah, so that he's been keeping his red envelope.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, it's just a piece of paper, but it does symbolize our affection in our culture because we don't really say "I love you."
That's so true. I can resonate with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say, my dad actually never said "I love you" verbally to me, but he shows me with his action every single day. I just know it. I just know it from the bottom of my heart, without a doubt. So it's very different culture, because Asian parents, you probably hear a lot about that, they're not very good, like, verbally tell you how much they love you. However, they will do everything they can to show you are loved, but they don't say it. So,
And the explanation given to us, about that, it's not that they don't have any emotions for us. They do. It's just that the words are not valued. The action of love is far more
valuable.
based on our culture. So when we express it in a different, culture, I think that looks off. But in reality, we know that true love is action, not words. That's why somehow they deleted the verbal part, over generations after generations. Because when my grandparents leaned over, to whisper in my ear, that was 10 times more powerful than to say, I love you. Because we know how they say it and how it's delivered, the tone, and the expression, So, all that I learned really early on. So, yes, they may not say the words, but the action is just, and we rather have
the action.
Yeah.
So when you're teaching the students about the language and the culture, do you share stories like this with them to help them understand how it is to be in a different culture? Like, is that something you commonly would talk with students about?
I would say like this whole like I love you conversation will make me share this because we taught students love very early on. We teach them the word love for Mandarin is I, and then we taught them I and you, like, right? So they put it together themselves. So they go, well, I need. They say it every day. It's like such a culture thing because in America you would hear that in basically every family. Before you go or end of the day, you would say that so casually and like you want to express that in this culture.
Yeah.
But in our culture, it just doesn't happen that way. If all of a sudden you hear that from your mom, something's happening. but I would say like hearing it from students every day, like they leave the class, they say, well, I need that.
Oh, they do.
It's a different pleasure coming from foreign students who say that to us. Like it brings a different meaning in that.
It does.
Right? It's not the same as when my mom says this seriously. And it's just like, oh, you know what? That's like a culture bonding right there. Yeah. Even though like we're speaking different language or like we're speaking the same language, just in different understanding of the language, it's a connection right there.
You said it exactly. It's a cultural connection. Because when you learn a second language, regardless if it's Chinese, Spanish, it's those little nuance that we don't get to discover. And because, I was raised, in this culture, when someone says, I love you, or, when we hang up on the phone, I say it to my son now, without any embarrassment or any kind of, emotional withdrawal. Is more of that cultural connection that we get to pick the best of the best from each culture. And that's the beauty of having a foreign language, is that these students can experience that cultural connection, because that is the lesson that will catapult them into their success. And that success could vary from one student to another, but nevertheless, when they have that cultural connection, it's like one step forward for them to express themselves in a world that is, covered in diversity and uniqueness. But that cultural connection is where we will bring that inclusivity.
Yeah, and I agree wholeheartedly with President Sun that it's more than just learning the language because of how the language may help you in your career. It's learning another culture and understanding that we all have different life experiences. We all have different ways of viewing life, and opening their minds to the other possibilities of what it's like to be on the other side of the world, because some of them, may never travel all the way out there. But you're bringing that side of the world right here to them right here at West Point, where it is tangible for them to come and experience that. Anything last that you guys would like to throw out for all of our parents and students that they should know about the program when they're considering the program?
First of all, I want to say, we have a lot of support, from, the district, the governing board. And then, secondly, I think we have a very great team here, So we really want to, let parents and the students know, like, yes, come here. This class is really fun. Not just, learn the language. Our goal is you come here, have fun. Also, at the same time, you learn the culture and you learn the language as well.
And they should hurry up and sign up, because if nothing else, they can hurry up and get a red envelope next week if they hurry up and switch their classes. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you being on the show here today. Here on the Education Exchange, where we aim to enlighten our parents and empower our students. And we appreciate all of our listeners, and we hope to tune back in again next week.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, want more information, or would like to be a guest on the Education Exchange, please send us an email at podcast@tuhsd.org. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and tune in next week to the Education Exchange. You can catch all episodes on your favorite streaming devices or directly at www.tuhsd.org/podcast.